This video is brought to you by Sporlan. Quality, integrity, and tradition. So today we have a service call on an ice machine that's not working. And the first thing we do when we open it up is just look at the ice. Look at the formation of this ice. It tells you a lot about what's going on here. You know, that's some pretty nasty looking stuff there. It's like not making a full sheet, and it looks like maybe the ice is having a hard time falling off the evaporator and it's melting it. So you got to kind of use your senses. Don't just jump in with being blind. You know, you got to kind of look and investigate a little bit. Talk to the management, ask them, you know, symptoms that were happening and such. So our left ice machine is making ice, but we're in safe mode.
And our right ice machine is off with an error message in there. That little asterisk in the triangle is an error message.
So let's dive into it and see what we can find. There's some funky ice going on. And then it's got like really, really low water. And it's struggling. You can hear the pump cavitating. We're in a harvest. And it's just nasty looking cubes. Looks like a water related issue to me. I'm gonna watch it harvest and see how it harvests. Okay, so notice how only half of the sheet fell off. That's probably, yeah, so that's nasty. Okay, something's going on there. So we're gonna get the rest of that melted off, and then we're gonna proceed starting over with troubleshooting. So we're currently in the water fill. And I've got barely any water coming into this thing, and it doesn't, usually you can hear the water flowing through the water level probe, which is that beige tube back there. It's kind of hard to see, but it's like the smallest little trickle coming in. So we're gonna go look at the water filters. It looks like we have low water flow coming in. And that's the one that's not being used. So I pulled the filter cartridges out of here because they were plugged, and that's our pressure while it's flowing now. So we had plugged up water filters. And now you can actually hear it flowing into it. So yeah, definitely low water flow, low water pressure. So we'll continue to diagnose past that point. Here's the filters, and like they're just plugged up internally. The jacket's all discombobulated. So once I corrected the water flow problem, I put the unit into wash mode and let the water circulate and get rid of all the rest of the ice. So now we've got all the ice off of the evaporators, and we can go ahead and start diagnosing. I have a feeling it's going to be working fine now that we got water pressure to the machine, but we're going to go ahead and go through everything. So I'm going to go through my service guide. So ask for the models and serial numbers, and this service guide here does not tell you how to diagnose. It just gets all the information so you can do your job easier. So collect outdoor air temp, evaporator water inlet temp. Is the machine off on an error? Yes. Is there an error code present? Yes. What error code? Safe mode and multiple errors. And then basically gives you a walkthrough. Write down what the sensors read while the machine is off. Obviously that 111 is one of the sensors, and that's indicating to me that there's a problem with the evaporator sensor. Are the thickness sensor, water level probe, and condenser clean? No, they're not. So before we go any further, we're going to look at that stuff. So basically the water pump, I pulled it out. It's a little bit of calcium, but I mean it's functional. That's not a problem. But look at our calcium buildup on the water level. That's a problem. And then what you do is you pull the microphone or thickness sensor, inspect it. It doesn't look horrible, and then you shake it, because oftentimes the seal can fail and they get full of water. So you just kind of shake it, put it up to your ear, and you'll hear water in there. You'll know. Or if it looks bulged out or cracked. Okay, so this is all before we even start up the machine. So we know that this guy needs to get a little clean. So we're going to give this a rinse real quick, and then we'll proceed from that. We're just cleaning. Remember, I don't like to fill these pans too much, because I don't like to get moisture and water all the way up into the sensors, and I don't submerge them completely, because even though they're sealed, as they get older, the seal stops and then it creates problems. So this right here, I use a pan that is so the pump can't tip over, because you don't want the pump to tip over inside of there, and then just fill it up. I'm gonna put a little more in there because we're a little low, and just let them sit for a minute. Okay, so I'm not doing a cleaning on this. I just cleaned the ice, just ran some cleaner through it real quick. Mainly, I'm not so concerned about the pump as I am the water level probe. So we got this cleaned off pretty darn good. Again, this is not a thorough cleaning. This is just to get them running. Another thing to remember too is ice machine cleaner doesn't last for more than like 20 something minutes. I know there's someone who can correct me with, but it goes neutral after so much time. So, leaving it in there for more than 20 minutes is basically just circulating water. So at that point, it's nothing. So also when you're cleaning ice machines, if you're gonna, I'm gonna clean the other machine's sensors real quick. You only have so much time. All right, so I'm just gonna do this for shits and giggles just because I like to clean these things. So let's run this guy up and see what happens. I've seen worse. That one's pretty clean. Pretty good. Gotta give that one credit. Now granted, there is a lot of stuff up in here that we can't get to, that runs back behind the machine, runs over and back this way. So just because I pushed this up, it didn't go all the way through that. So, but yeah, this one's not bad at all. Okay, I'm not doing a full tear down on this thing. I went ahead and ran that leftover cleaner through the machine real quick, and then we'll run some sanitizer, and then we'll continue with our troubleshooting. I'm not scrubbing, tearing down machine or anything like that. I don't think it warrants that. So we're just doing a quick clean, just because there was some calcium buildup on the grid plate, and then after that we'll continue our troubleshooting. Okay, so we're done doing our quick clean and our sanitize. So now we're gonna start the machine up and fill out my checklist. I got my pressure probes hooked up right here. So just go through it, watch the machine. We're gonna record the pressures down on this sheet every 2 minutes, and then analyze everything after and compare it to the Manitowoc book and what the published pressure should be. So I'm in the process of filling out the sheet every 2 minutes, and our ice is getting a lot thicker. We're getting ready, we should be getting ready to harvest here any minute. Paying attention to the microphone frequency settings. It's going to hit like the really high thousands, a lot higher than that. And a little weird that you're seeing a discrepancy like that, because that's the two frequencies, 100 hertz and 120 hertz. But usually those numbers are a little bit closer together. But so we're just watching it. We're about ready to make ice. So we made a decent batch. Time was a little, about a minute too long, but it's okay. I'm gonna probably thin it up a little bit. The pressures were pretty close to being accurate, not enough to scare me away from doing anything. So, analyze my pressures. We should be using this bracket right here because it's 65 degrees outside, so we're below 70. So, 250 to 235 and 50 to 36. So 57 to 38, 230 to 232. So we're a little low on the head pressure, but that's a common theme on these Manitowoc ice machines. As long as you don't see low and high low, then I'm pretty comfortable. As far as the harvest pressures, 140 to 165 and 70 to 95. So we're kind of close there. 140, 160. It's not horrible. Might be a slight bit low, but we're just going to watch the machine operate. I'm pretty sure that our problem was just a water filter issue. So we're going to tell them to keep an eye on it. This one's a little bit discomforting. Usually you just see the head pressure being low, but this one's right on the border of being low on the suction pressure too. So it's a possibility we could have a refrigerant charge issue. But like I said, I'm just going to let the customer keep an eye on it, and we'll see what we can do. Just tell them to watch it, and they got a good working ice machine. I'm going to actually thin up the ice thickness a little bit too, so we'll keep an eye on it and see. Another tech tip: so when you're working on these, go to your event log and clear it when you're done. So then that way when you come back, your event log is empty, and you know if you see problems there, they're new. That helps you on these machines. So we had a ice machine that wasn't working properly. We actually had two ice machines. The right side ice machine had a bad fan cycle control. But anyways, the left side machine, we had no water flow coming into the machine, okay? And I ended up finding that the water filters were plugged up, which is, you know, it can happen from time to time. I'm surprised because I usually don't see this style of water filter actually plug up. Usually you can see like the Everpure cartridges plug up, but this style really takes a lot. So they just hadn't been changed in a very long time. And I believe that the right side ice machine had been down for so long. I didn't get video of the right side ice machine because I had someone else working on that. But I believe that the right side ice machine had been down for so long, and that's why those water filters didn't plug up. I believe that the left side machine just went down. So went ahead and cleaned up, just a super quick cleaning on the machines, literally just cleaning the critical parts. I did go ahead and recommend to the customer that I wanted to come back and do a thorough cleaning. And what a thorough cleaning is for me is that we schedule it with the customer. They completely empty out the bins and turn off the machines. And then so that way when we come in the morning, we'll usually be there first thing in the morning, like at 7 or 7:30. And then we'll go to town with a water hose, hot water, blasting that machine, running cleaner through it, scrubbing every single part down. I'll even get inside the bin and scrub the inside of the bin out. Then we sanitize everything and, you know, usually go from there. But I always like to, even if it's something as easy as water filters plugging up, I'm always looking at the big picture, trying to be thorough to make sure that there's nothing else wrong. You did see that I saw a little bit low pressures in the harvest, but it really wasn't too much to concern me. I find it to be a common theme with the Manitowoc Ice Machines to run lower head pressure than what the book publishes. I've tried to correct it, and you end up changing so many parts and it doesn't fix anything. So I stopped trying to fight that one. And as long as we don't have low production and stuff, I really don't go down that rabbit hole. Now, if I see low suction pressure, low head pressure during a freeze cycle, low suction pressure, low head pressure during a harvest, then I'm really going to lean on refrigerant charge issues or something like that. But really appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this. I'll put links to the tools that I used in the show notes of this video for you guys. And yeah, send me some feedback via email, hvacrvideos@gmail.com, or leave some comments down in the video. And let me know what you guys think. Okay, I really appreciate it, and we will see you guys on the next one.